Welcome in, I'm Thirdmango, and this is an album review for my new band Believe. My new band Believe. Self titled. Let's get into it. My new band Believe is a solo project by Cameron Picton, formerly of the band Black Midi. I'm going to have to check out Black Midi now. He uses other artists for instruments, but this is the work mostly of one man, and overall, this is a cool album. This album feels very in tradition with prog rock albums, where the output is much more about the whole than it is about the individual tracks. Very in line with Pink Floyd style vibes, but with almost a Death Cab for Cutie vibe mixed into it, sort of like a Postal Service meets Pink Floyd. He does a lot of like Medeski, Martin and Wood style jazz riffs, especially when he's in the more prog rock sections, like within Heart of Darkness, for instance. So I'd say like this is sort of the Pink Floyd, Medeski, Martin and Wood, Postal Service, Death Cab for Cutie sandwich of prog rock together. The portion of this album that is definitely my favorite are the first three songs. This feels very in line with prog rock acts, where each song blends into the other and yet goes different places. The second and third tracks, In the Blink of the Eye and Heart of Darkness, are my favorites off the album. The rest of the album is still good, but it doesn't reach that height that it does in the beginning. This is one of those albums where I think like the album as a whole is better than the individual songs, which again it really reminds me of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, one of my favorite albums of the 70s. And the thing about that album is I'm not really ever listening to, Shine On Your Crazy Diamond, uh, or, any of the other songs on there. I'm listening to the entire album at the same time. And that's what this album does. It, even though a lot of those songs are not ones that I'm going to be adding to my list of daily songs, it's definitely an album that when I am in that mood, it's the only thing I'm going to want to listen to. And I'm going to want to listen to the whole thing. The final three songs are all interesting outputs. And while they won't end up on the regular rotation, they give off haunting vibes and go interesting places. The last 3 minutes of Actress might have my favorite moment of the whole record. But the lead up takes a while to get there. It takes a good 5 minutes. But again, that is sort of the classic of prog rock style albums, of sometimes you have to have that build up into the crescendo, and that crescendo in Actress, incredible. I do also want to say that he also released the single Numerology, which is a non-album single, and that song is easily my favorite that he's done. It's almost a little sad it's not on the album, because then it would probably bump up the overall rating a bit. So overall, this is getting 4 out of 5 stars. Still, excellent album. But there aren't too many songs on here I'm going to go back and listen to unless I want the vibe of the whole album on one go. I'm incredibly excited to see where my new band Believe goes from here. This is an incredible opener, incredible way to come on to the scene. I hope that they have a long and storied career after this. Incredible stuff. Great album. Thank you for coming in. I've been Thirdmango. We'll see you in the next album review.